Should I stop?
Whenever you're ready. Let me grab something. Welcome to Thoughts on Thursday. It's Reverend Miller.
And I'm Stuart Holmes.
We wanted to show you all the poinsettias and the decoration, so we tried to be fancy, but I'm not sure how well it worked. But we're glad that you're joined us on this Thursday. Tomorrow, Friday, is December 24th and Christmas Eve. And then on Sunday, the first Sunday after Christmas. I'll be gone for that Sunday. The Reverend Jean Holmes, who is an excellent minister, right, Stuart?
Yes.
The best.
The best.
She will be here for the Sunday service, which is for us our carol sing, a chance just after Christmas to sing a carol that maybe we have missed or your favorite that you just want to hear more than once. We get to do that on our Carol Sing Sunday. COVID is not gone, and it gets a little difficult when you're trying to make plans, but we feel we're set and ready for our two services, 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. Both will be in person and both will be virtual. We will be posting the 5 p.m. right after the service for you to watch, which is going to be the nativity story told by four wise men, or maybe not so wise, but the four kings, and it'll be a wonderful time of hearing the nativity story from the Gospels of Luke and Matthew. And then 11 p.m. will be our carols and lessons. We're not going to do what you might call the traditional 7 lessons. What we will have is about 5 lessons, but it's an Isaiah passage with the gospel lesson that coordinates with it. And I just want to say there will be a gospel lesson, Stuart. And so Isaiah to gospel, and it'll be a beautiful echo of the foretelling of Jesus, and then also Jesus coming into the world as the light of the world. Stuart won't tell you this, but he's a little brokenhearted because for both services, our candlelight services, we're going to be using battery operated. He likes the real candle where the wax melts on your hand and burns your hand. It's the authentic experience, I think he thinks. But with COVID, we didn't want people moving around, which happens when you have to light the candles, and also the people who clean the carpet afterwards and have to get the wax off, they really like these battery-operated candles. The interesting thing is, and even with the time of COVID, is you make choices and you do different things, new possibilities are also opened. And so when we light a candle, a real candle, we don't keep that lit too long because too much wax will melt. With the battery operated, we can have them lit for a very long time, probably hours. And with that in mind, we're going to conclude each service a little differently than before. We're going to keep the candles lit, and I'll leave first, and then we'll all go out with lit candles and then put the candles out once we're outside as a reminder that we're called to bring the light of Christ out into the world. And as I reflect as us trying to plan the service, it can be difficult when life changes on us, but then new possibilities, just like the idea of that we can keep it lit and have that wonderful meeting of bringing the light out into the world. We get to do that. So as some things change, new possibilities open, and that to me is part of the Christmas story.
Yep.
Those are my thoughts.
Oh my. Well, you probably need to explain, but I don't want you to, why you made that slam against me wondering about New Testament reading. In our planning sessions, he had a good laugh. I suppose I did too. And I looked at the draft bulletin and noticed that there were only Isaiah passages in it. And I was thinking, gee, you've got to tell the Christmas story. The Isaiah prophets are predicting it, but
you need the real thing too.
I needed to read the draft bulletin in its entirety before, and that was pointed out anyway.
On the left side was the Isaiah passage, on the right side was the gospel lessons. All together, it makes a beautiful story.
And it's an embarrassing moment for me, which I hesitate to point out. I probably had it coming. The music on Christmas Eve is so beautiful. I started out with Louis Daquin's Noëls. The Noëlist, I've talked about this before, the Noëlist in early France, 17th century, were actually secular, for the most part, musicians employed often by the church that would take a secular piece and create a series of variations to show off the instrument. And they became known as the Noëlists, and they wrote a whole series of different things, taking different melodies and creating a series of variations. I'm going to be playing the last variation at the end of this video. The first one I was playing while Rob was bringing the camera forward. Music for the choir. We're running from a magnificent piece that just starts out beautifully, and it's almost a lullaby, except for it's not in 3/4 time. And that just develops beautifully for the choir. Then we have a French piece that is very popular with church musicians, Sing We Now of Christmas. And that develops, so it's a little bit lighter, a little bit jauntier. And then we end with Joseph Haydn's Gloria in Excelsis, which, if I could guess quickly, basically like that. So we run from just a beautiful melodic melody all the way up to something very glorious. That's the music coming up.
So I think not only the two wonderful Christmas Eve services, but also the Sunday service, great opportunities to worship God. The 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. will be quite a bit different, so you can come to both, or you can watch one and come in person the other, or watch both at home in the safety of your own home. We're going to have a celloist at the 11 p.m. We have the chancel choir. We have several soloists. Rick Van Der Winnie and Carol O'Neill will be our scripture readers for the 11 p.m., bringing the Isaiah passage and the gospel lessons to life. Then at the 5 p.m., we have gifts for children. We also have a soloist, Dave Fredes, wonderful singer. He's going to be one of the wise men. Jim Albus is going to be a singer. And Stuart Holmes is going to sing. I'm going to be one of the wise men, but I was asked to give out gifts and not sing. I won't take that too personally.
Was it me?
And so 2 beautiful services, both candlelight. We invite you to come, and we hope that you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And these are our thoughts. Thanks for joining us.
And I will end with the 6th variation on that Noel.